Hi, my name is Alex and I welcome you to today's video. In Maneater, the best but also only shark PG so far, you control a bull shark with a thirst for revenge, and may eat pretty much everything that swims in front of your teeth. The opening is the game's greatest strength, as it's immediately made clear that the journey to the top of the food chain doesn't take itself seriously even for a second. This is because all the B-movie worthy trashy action has been wrapped up in a nature documentary with a highly good off-camera commentator. In the fictional TV format, even the rather ugly human shark hunters get a word in edgewise and spout some delightfully wacky nonsense. At the beginning, the main antagonist Scaly Pete blathers on about how it's a sacred duty to hunt sharks just like his father did before the inevitable happened. To underline the trash TV factor, broadcast logos and references are faded in again and again. This presentation in the style of an exaggerated nature documentary fits like a glove and manages to distract from the monotony of the game's mechanics. In general, the game starts off really well, although you are thrown in at the deep end and have to get used to the controls right away. The control of the shark in the 3 dimensions is okay, whereby the shark and its opponents are surprisingly fast and agile. Only on the water surface do the shark and camera react quite strangely, especially when you really want to jump out of the water with momentum. Particularly in shallow water, jumping off is like a torture. The blood flows in streams and loudly crack the bones. Shortly thereafter, shark hunters arrive and are processed into shark bites. But when Scaly Pete shows up, it's the end of the fun. He catches the bull shark, slits it open and finds out that the shark was pregnant. The offspring immediately shows what he's made of and bites off Scaly Pete's hand, and 2 arch enemies are born. From now on you control the mini shark and have to avenge Mama Shark. That's the story, which quickly drifts into insignificance after the surprisingly decent start. The primary goal as a mini shark is to get bigger and stronger. To do this you eat pretty much every creature in the underwater world. Eating is the main action of the shark, and with target switching as well as a small spurt to the target, you almost bite too easily. You also have to fling around some targets in maw with left-right movements. Eating brings back life points and gives further resources, which are later necessary for upgrading teeth, fins, tail and the internal organs. Information about the resource content of the food and the available collectibles can be obtained with the sonar, which marks objectives nearby and on the map. Later on, all the level ups become so absurd that you can put on lightning teeth, bone fins or entire sets like the Shadow set, including set bonuses to speed, poison clouds and time slowdown. So, in the vast expanses of the water, you eat a lot of food and solve tasks that mostly revolve around decimating the local population, hunting apex predators as bosses or eating humans. In the process, you collect crates, shields and other objects that encourage you to explore the environment, but have been placed on the maps in such high numbers that the collection tour gets too out of hand following Ubisoft's open world construction kit. Once you cause enough terror to the humans, the shark's wanted level increases in GTA fashion, causing new and stronger shark hunters to appear who want to put the shark down after a cutscene. The first representatives are quite harmless. Later, heavy caliber, thicker ships and dynamite are used. The enemies are not particularly clever though. Despite the environment striving for variety, the killing fun gets monotonous pretty quickly, as the shark lacks abilities, making you do the same thing over and over again on the maps. On the technical side, the developers from Tripwire Interactive have done a solid job. The game almost always runs at a constant 30 frames per second. Compared to the other versions, there are clear graphical drawbacks, which are especially visible over water. Underwater, the game looks quite a bit better despite the lower resolution. So let's come to a conclusion. Maneater is a wonderfully over-the-top B-movie as a game, but it falls short of its potential. The idea around the revenge shark is great, and setting the whole thing up as a nature documentary with an off-screen narrator is great, especially when the commentator spouts nonsense. However, after killing dozens of beachgoers, shark hunters and apex predators, monotony sets in, as both the shark's tasks and actions are unfortunately quite limited. Nevertheless, Maneater is a fun game for in between, and for these reasons I rate Maneater for the Nintendo Switch a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. If you liked it, we would be very happy about a like and a subscription, or if you're interested in getting early access to our future reviews, feel free to visit our Patreon page.
Stars, I'm a fool for your love.